In today's video, we are going to explore the best Paramahansa Yogananda's quotes about meditation and journey to self-realization. Let's get started. To commune daily with God in deep meditation and to carry His love and guidance with you into all your dutiful activities is the way that leads to permanent peace and happiness. Meditation is like giving a hug to ourselves, getting in touch with that awesome reality in us. While meditating, we feel a deep sense of intimacy with God, a love that is inexplicable. Come into the silence of solitude, and the vibration there will talk to you through the voice of God. By the definite science of meditation, known for millenniums to the yogis and sages of India and to Jesus, any seeker of God can enlarge the caliber of his consciousness to omniscience, to receive within himself the universal intelligence of God. Seek truth in meditation, not in moldy books. Look in the sky to find the moon, not in the pond. Persian proverb. Just behind the darkness of closed eyes shines the light of God. When you behold that light in meditation, hold onto it with devotional zeal. Feel yourself inside it. That is where God dwells. When, by meditation, we withdraw restless thoughts from the lake of the mind, we behold our soul, a perfect reflection of spirit. The soul loves to meditate, for in contact with the spirit lies its greatest joy. If, then, you experience a mental resistance during meditation, remember that reluctance to meditate comes from the ego. It doesn't belong to the soul. Work for God, love God alone, and be wise with God. When an ordinary man puts the necessary rhyme and enthusiasm into meditation and prayer, he becomes a divine man. Loving God with all thy mind means withdrawing one's attention from the senses and giving it to God, giving to Him one's whole concentration in meditation. Every seeker of God must learn to concentrate. A prayer that one utters while at the same time thinking of other things in the background of his mind is not a true prayer and is unheeded by God. Yoga teaches that in order to find the Father, it is first necessary to seek Him all one's mind with concentration that is one-pointed. It is best to simplify life. I have seen saints in India who eat hardly anything and live under the most rigorous conditions, yet they have wonderfully strong bodies, far better than those of the average well-fed, well-cared-for American. They have trained their minds not to be dependent on externals for health and contentment. Make your life more simple. Self-realization, Yogorasastanga, is a philosophy of living. Right meditation, right thinking, and right living. Bring up your children in this philosophy. Don't pamper them or teach them by wrong example to cater to their bodies and harmful desires. Give them true freedom by keeping their lives simple and cultivating in them inner peace and happiness. Do the same with your own life. Don't be bound by anything. That philosophy will save you. Outward longings will drive you from the Eden within. They offer false pleasures that only impersonate the soul's happiness. The lost paradise is quickly regained through divine meditation. Even when you do not know where the next dollar is coming from, you should refuse to be apprehensive. When you do your part and rely on God to do His, you will find that mysterious forces come to your aid and that your constructive wishes soon materialize. This confidence and consciousness of abundance are attained through meditation. Many ask, shall we first acquire material success to fulfill our worldly obligations and then seek God? Or should we have God first and then go after success? By all means, God first. Never begin or end your day without communion with Him in deep meditation. We should remember that we could not perform any duties without the power borrowed from God. So it is to Him we owe our first allegiance. If you do your other duties but forget God, He doesn't like that at all. The ideal is to perform all duties with the sole desire to please God. If you retain the joyous after effects of meditation throughout the day or part of the day, you will see that this joy will correctly guide you in everything. Saints are guided by this joy, in the consciousness of which no erroneous actions are possible. Retain the acquired joy of meditation throughout the day. After deep prayer and meditation, the devotee is in touch with his divine consciousness. There is no greater power than that inward protection. God realization is attained only by great effort on the part of the yogi and by divine grace. Self-realization may be, and sometimes is attained even by people who are struggling with sick and otherwise imperfect bodies. But it cannot be attained unless one can concentrate and meditate uninterruptedly upon God. With the realization of God comes all power. If the little wave knew that behind it is the great ocean, it could say, "I am the ocean." You should realize that just behind your consciousness is the ocean of God. We are what we think we are. The habitual inclination of our thoughts determines our talents and abilities and our personality. So whatever you want to be, start to develop that pattern now. Truths are not truths to you unless you realize them within yourself. Without realization, they are just ideas. For spiritual perception, spiritual consciousness lies not in vague theological ideas, but in the acquisition of self-realization. Self-realization means to know truth through yourself and not through others. By seeking God first through self-realization, all things strength, power, prosperity, wisdom, health, and immortality will be added unto you. Self-realization is the knowing in all parts of body, mind, and soul that you are now in possession of the kingdom of God. Fearlessness means faith in God, faith in His protection, His justice, His wisdom, His mercy, His love, and His omnipresence. To be fit for self-realization, man must be fearless. Self-realization is, in fact, the only religion, for it is the true purpose of religion, no matter how people define their beliefs. If religion means primarily God consciousness, or the realization of God both within and without, and secondarily a body of beliefs, tenets, and dogmas, then strictly speaking, there is but one religion in the world, for there is but one God. Self-realization is the knowing in all parts of body, mind, and soul that you are now in possession of the kingdom of God, that you do not have to pray that it come to you, that God's omnipresence is your omnipresence, and that all you need to do is improve your knowing. I don't want people to think they can attain realization simply by listening to others or by reading books. They must practice what they read and hear. Through self-realization, man becomes aware of true values as to his place in the divine plan and his relation to the past, present, and future of mankind. Great healers, people of divine realization do not cure by chance, but by exact knowledge. Remain calm, serene, always in command of yourself. You will then find out how easy it is to get along. I shall remold my consciousness. In this new year, I am a new person, and I shall change my consciousness again and again until I have driven away all the darkness of ignorance and manifested the shining light of spirit in whose image I am made. Do not think of yourself as the body, but as the joyous consciousness and immortal life behind it. The reality of my life cannot die, for I am indestructible consciousness. Most people consider the course of events as natural and inevitable. They rarely know what radical changes are possible through prayer. Affirm divine calmness and peace, and send out only thoughts of love and goodwill if you want to live in peace and harmony. Never get angry, for anger poisons your system. Behold thine immortal self, resurrected with Christ and the illuminating light of Christ's consciousness, present in every soul, every flower, every atom. Through the portals of silence, the healing sun of wisdom and peace will shine upon you. Let my soul smile through my heart, and my heart smile through my eyes, that I may scatter rich smiles in sad hearts. It doesn't matter if a cave has been in darkness for 10,000 years or half an hour. Once you light a match, it is illuminated. As a broken microphone cannot broadcast a message, so a restless mind cannot translate prayers to God. The more you meditate, the more helpful you can be to others, and the more deeply you will be in tune with God. Never do anything that taints your mind. Wrong actions cause negative or evil mental vibrations that are reflected in your whole appearance and personality. Engage in those actions and thoughts that nurture the good qualities you want to have. May thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of my devotion, and may I be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. He who has realized oneness with God possesses all knowledge contained in him. Knowing the Lord as beginning and end of all beings and worlds, a true Brahmin has knowledge of the hereafter and of the workings of nature on this plane of existence. Harmony with nature will bring you a happiness known to a few city dwellers. In the company of other truth seekers, it will be easier for you to meditate and think of God. Truth is exact correspondence with reality. Your trials did not come to punish you, but to awaken you, to make you realize that you are a part of spirit, and that just behind the sparks of your life is a flame of infinity. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens, allowing God to express through me his perfect love, peace, and wisdom. He who conquers the mind conquers the world. We are all part of the one spirit. When you experience the true meaning of religion, which is to know God, you will realize that he is yourself and that he exists equally and impartially in all beings. Bring into play the almighty power within you, so that on the stage of life you can fulfill your high destined role. Remain quiet. Don't feel you have to talk all the time. Go within you, and you will see the loveliness behind all beauty. People are running, but there is no place in the world to which they can flee to escape themselves. Ultimately, each one must face himself. The spine is the highway to the infinite. Your own body is a temple of God. It is within your own self that God must be realized. I am no longer the wave of consciousness, thinking itself separated from the sea of cosmic consciousness. I am the ocean of spirit that has become the wave of human life. When the mind is calm, how quickly, how smoothly, how beautifully you will perceive everything. I will be calmly active, actively calm. I am a prince of peace, sitting on the throne of poise, directing the kingdom of my activity. Calmness is the living breath of God's immortality in you. Every morning, I offer my body, my mind, and any ability that I possess to be used by Thee, O infinite Creator. In whatever way Thou dost choose to express Thyself through me. I know that all work is Thy work, and that no task is too difficult or too menial when offered to Thee in loving service. Retire to the center of your being, which is calmness. Before embarking on important undertakings, sit quietly, calm your senses and thoughts, and meditate deeply. You will then be guided by the great creative power of spirit. Read a little, meditate more. Think of God all the time. We should bathe our spirits in the deep, pure feeling that stirs within us when we gaze on the glories of His creation. This is the way to know God as beauty. You must methodize your life. God created routine. The sun shines until dusk, and the stars shine until dawn. When you say to me that you can't do this or that, I don't believe it. Whatever you make up your mind to do, you can do. God is a sum total of everything, and His image is within you. He can do anything, and so can you, if you learn to identify yourself with His inexhaustible nature. Who can stop you from thinking you are a God? No one. You are your only obstruction. I come not to entertain you with worldly festivities, but to arouse your sleeping memory of immortality. Kriya Yoga is a simple psychophysiological method by which human blood is decarbonated and recharged with oxygen. The atoms of this extra oxygen are transmuted into life current to rejuvenate the brain and spinal centers. By stopping the accumulation of venous blood, the yogi is able to lessen or prevent the decay of tissues. It is better to meditate a little bit with depth than to meditate long with the mind running here and there. If you do not make an effort to control the mind, it will go on doing as it pleases, no matter how long you sit to meditate. Please let us know your favorite quotes from these best Paramahansa Yogananda's quotes about meditation and journey to self-realization in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.